Hi friends, I'm excited to share my new layout for the Shimmerz Paints design team using the June Color Kitz. I love the colors in the kits this month and had so much fun using all of these beautiful patterned papers that are in the paper collection that go along with the colors. So I started by cutting circles, and the circles are the smaller circle is 1.5 inches, and I think the larger circle is 2 inches. So I just used my circle punch and went through all of these beautiful patterned papers. These pattern papers all have florals on the other side, like smaller scale florals, but I loved the bold, more solid patterns in the collection this month, so I'm going to be using those on my layout. So then I took all of those circles, and I kind of thought I was going to do just a big collection of them, and then I changed my mind at the last second. So what I'm doing right here is I am taking white gesso on a piece of plain white cardstock, and it's a very thin, kind of cheap cardstock that I just had laying around, so there's nothing special about it. And then I took my pulling tool. It's a mixed media tool from Vicky Boutin, and it has some of the sides have ridges and different things that you can use to make patterns. So I pulled that gesso using one of the sides that has a pattern and kind of made like a crosshatch pattern, or like a plaid, like little squares in the gesso, and I let that dry. And then I took two of the paints from the Color Kitz this month. So the green is the Colorings Keep Palm, which is cute, a cute name. And then the Vibes Frostbite, which is that beautiful blue. And I love that blue. So my bottle, I dropped it. And when I was first starting to use it, and so it wouldn't spray. I've got to see what I did something to it. So I got to fix it. But I just poured it on, and that seemed to work. So the gesso on the background gave me the pattern that you see there. It's kind of hard to see, but in the close-ups you can tell. And then I painted on the shimmers on top of that and then let it dry. And then I cut same circle punches out of the paper that I had created, those colors. And so then I'm going to use the circles and put them going straight across the page. So I did the bigger circles in the background, and then I'm going to overlap the smaller circles on top. So you'll just see me doing that here. I did use my straight edge ruler to make sure that they were going straight across the page, because I wanted it to, I like things to look messy, but if I want them to be straight, they need to be straight. So, so I did that, and then I am going to use some of the other colors in the kit this month that are so beautiful. So this one that I'm using right here is, I think it's the Shimmerz Moulin Rouge. So yeah, Shimmerz Moulin Rouge is that beautiful pink. And so I took my ink blending tool, and I'm just using it to make circles. So you can see that there. I'm just kind of like, almost like a stamp. Stamping that paint on the background with that ink blending tool. And then the purple is the Spritz Sweet Pea. So all of these colors that I'm using are in the June Color Kitz that are so beautiful. I love all the colors. And I love how they look with all of the patterned papers. Okay, so then I'm going to add some green. So then right here, what I'm doing is I took a little cup. That's like a little, I think it's actually supposed to be a shot glass. It's almost looks like a Solo cup, but it's a hard plastic. It's not disposable. And I am just using that to stamp some circles on the background. So I used that cup. You could use any kind of circle, any kind of small little tiny cup that you have, or something else that's just circle, to use to stamp. And I used that with the colorings, the Keep Palm, that same green that I had used to create the other circles. So I used that to stamp on the background. And then I am also going to use Crackling Campfire Distress Oxide to stamp. So I'm going to pull that out right here, and I'm going to use that same cup, and I'm going to stamp circles because I liked how that color looked with the orange pattern paper that was in the June kits. and there's no orange paints. So I wanted to kind of pull in that orange color. And then I'm going to punch out a couple more circles here, just a few more. And so what I'm trying to do, the look I'm going for is I wanted the pattern paper circles going horizontally across the page. And then vertically, I did the mixed media and then added some more circles. And then I'm going to add stuff on top of that. You'll see. So here what I'm doing is I'm punching holes 1/2 inch apart, going all the way across the page. And I added some hand stitching, just using a straight back stitch, really simple stitch to make sure that those circles were down. And then I am able to pull them up. So when I was putting those circles down originally, I only put adhesive straight down the center because I knew I was going to be adding hand stitching. So I'm able to bend up the edges of that, which gives me some extra texture on the page and dimension, some visual dimension there. And then my photos, I am going to have going right there where you see them. And then I'm going to build everything else kind of around those. So these photos are of a super fun day where we went to a local yogurt shop after school with some of our friends. And it was actually just last week. And I loved the colors because all of the toppings, like they have all different kinds of fun toppings and sprinkles, and all the yogurts are fun colors and stuff. So I thought that all of these circles and colorful things were a cute nod to like scoops of yogurt or scoops of ice cream. So that's in my mind. That's what I was thinking. So I am then going to take a bunch of flowers from the ephemera set that came with the patterned papers. So you get all of these beautiful things when you order the kits. So these flowers, I did trim off the white edges because they did have a white border on them. So I'm going to fussy cut around those and trim those borders off. And then I used craft foam and popped those flowers up. And you can kind of see that I created a trail of flowers. So there's flowers on the top, and there's a glare on the photo right now. So you can't, it's kind of hard to tell. That's a photo. That's not white paper sitting on top of it. But there are flowers below the photos and flowers above the photos. So it's kind of trailing down the page. And then the leaves, I am just hand cutting, like just freehand cutting out of the green paper that I had made using the paint and the gesso. So I had a bunch of green left over, so I used that to make the leaves. And then here I am taking some thread, and I just created little circles of thread. And then I'm going to have, and it's all like in coordinating colors that go with the pattern paper. So I've got pink, I think I used green, and yellow are the 3 colors I used of thread. So I'm going to kind of stick that here and there around the layout. And I love the texture that adds. If you watch my videos, you know I went to a craft weekend or scrapbooking weekend a few weeks ago, and we were doing this, and I had not used thread on my layouts in a long time. And I used to do it a long time ago. I loved Missy Whidden when she was first scrapbooking, or when she was scrapbooking a long time ago. And so I used to do that because she always did it, and I loved how it looked, but I haven't done it in a long time. So it's back on my layouts. It's made a return now that I remember how much I love the texture and just kind of that messy factor that it adds. So I added a few little bunches of thread on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to add, what am I doing here? Oh, the title. So I have the 2 titles, both came from the ephemera set. So the one that's like right there on the bottom left corner of the photo says Pure Joy. And then I did add the little phrase in between the rows of circles that says Simple Pleasures. So both of those titles seemed perfect to me for the photos. And then I took, so one of the sequin sets from, I think it was the January color kits from Shimmerz Paints. So I took the sequins and then I just took some crystals from my stash and kind of mixed all of those things in to add some details on the flowers and around the flowers. And then I have pops of color that I'm going to use to add a few more details. And I love how that looks. So I love all of those different colors and pieces mixed in. And that is going to wrap up the layout, I think. I think that's the last thing I do. Turn it upside down, add a few more. And there's some close-up video of how the layout turned out. Added some sequins to the centers of those flowers and then kind of around. I love how all that looks. So if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments. Remember, if you order anything from Shimmerz Paints, if you put my name, Sarah Millerhouse, in the comment section on your order, you will get a free gift. And I would love for you to do that and check out these kits. They are so beautiful. The colors, the paper, everything. I love it. So I hope you guys have some time to create and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. Bye, guys.